Good morning, Red Patriots. Welcome to the 374th consecutive Friday meeting of the East Valley Red Friday Patriots. Thank you for joining us this morning, and we thank you for your support of America's deployed warfighters. Speaking of warfighters, may I see the hands of our United States Navy veterans? Raise them high. Hoo-yah, Navy. Thank you for your honorable service. Well, here a while back, a gentleman who had never served in the armed forces stopped by my house to chit-chat. And somehow the conversation turned to the U.S. military, and he asked me, he said, "What does the Navy do other than floating around on big vessels patrolling the seas?" I said, "Let me show you, my man, let me show you." Can I have a hoo-yah for our United States Navy? Hoo-yah! Will you join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd like to take an opportunity here to welcome some guests that we have, first-time guests for this morning. If you will, when I call your name, if you would stand, I would appreciate it. Michael Papalardo. Michael, I understand that you have a bit of a responsibility here in the city of Apache Junction in that you're the school superintendent for this entire city. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So tell us what the state of the union is for the city of Apache Junction School District.
Right. So let me say this first to all the patriots in the room. You know, when our nation called, whatever year it was, we all decided that we were going to pay that debt by either being drafted or enlisted, right? Just like these young people here sitting in front of me with their Chief Petty Officer calendar. I think the state of Apache Junction is in good hands. We are going to do well. We are inspiring the next generation to take care of this nation, just as we did when it was our turn.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bob, we're going to need somebody to replace me here pretty soon. I need a motivator. Are you looking at retirement anytime soon?
Not yet.
Bob, thank you for joining us today. We really do appreciate it. Also, we have Hannah Nichols. Hannah?
Good morning.
Hannah, I understand that you have some association with somebody that's kind of close to you that's military. Is that correct?
My husband is an Air Force veteran. Shout out to all the mechanics out there.
All right. All right. Now, I also want to highlight the fact that Hannah is a mover shaker for Imprints of Honor. And I would like for you to just take one quick second and explain what your job is with the program.
I'm Senior Program Coordinator, and it is my honor and pleasure to work with all of our school chapters, our teachers, and our students and our veterans to preserve veteran legacies and inspire the next generation.
Superb. Thank you for joining us. Really do appreciate it. Also, William Boleen. William, where are you? Right back here. William, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are a United States Army vet, is that correct?
That's correct.
And what was your job in the Army?
I was a battalion supply specialist.
Supply specialist. There are two people that you never want to irritate in the United States military. One is a supply specialist and the other is a mess sergeant.
Yeah,
Am I correct?
that's true.
You control the key whether somebody got absolutely worn out breeches and
Yeah.
backpacks,
Yep.
and the mess sergeant controlled you from the standpoint of kitchen police, correct?
He didn't control me.
You were the exception of the few.
That's right.
So your MOS, do you remember your MOS number?
76Y4.
76 Yankee 40.
Yes.
So Yankee 40 means that you were in a senior NCO capacity, is that correct?
Yes.
E7,
No, I was E5.
E5? We thank you for your service and thank you for joining us today.
Okay. You're welcome.
May I have a hoo-ah for our first-time guest? Folks, I want to take this opportunity to give a birthday shout out to one of our Red Friday members who has been a devoted participant in our Red Friday program for 7 years, the full length of our program. And last Wednesday, July 29, he celebrated his 90th birthday, still going strong. Unfortunately, he cannot be with us this morning. One of the few times he will have to miss. He's actually headed to the airport to pick up some folks as we speak. Leroy McKimmey. Leroy is highlighted in this group photo that was taken in August 2019, 7 years ago. You see him down there kneeling? He can still kneel. He can still kneel. And at the time of this photo, our Red group had grown from the original 5 founders to 15 members in this photo. And that was only from May to August of that year. And certainly Leroy has been instrumental in helping to grow our Red program that now consists of 465 active members. So Leroy, I know that you'll be watching this program on YouTube, so thank you for your contribution to this Red Friday program. Happy birthday, my good friend. You're 90 years young and aged to perfection. Now, I'm saddened to report that one of our cherished Red Friday members passed away this past Wednesday, July 29, at 98 years of age. In the immediate post-war period of 1945, Lucid Bird enlisted in the United States Marine Corps at age 17. And following boot camp, Lou trained for 9 months to be certified as a navigator and served as a navigator on a United States Marine Corps C-47 transport resupply aircraft. He was based in Hawaii, and he flew numerous missions to the South Pacific and to northeastern China to resupply highly secure Marine Corps bases. By the end of his tour in 1948, Lou had flown more than 50 missions, totaling 1,800 hours. Lou was a member of the Marine Raiders, a special operations force originally established by the United States Marine Corps during World War II to conduct amphibious light infantry warfare. Several years following the war, the Raiders were ultimately disbanded, but in 2014, the Marine Special Operations Regiment, serving under the United States Marine Corps Forces Special Operations Command, was renamed the Marine Raider Regiment. This change was implemented as homage to the World War II Raiders. Today, Marine Special Operations of the Marine Raider Regiment are once again called Marine Raiders. Following the China tour, Lou was assigned to Tome Institute at Port Deposit, Maryland, and then 1 year at Georgia Tech to qualify for the Naval Academy. Unfortunately, due to vision problems, Lou failed the Navy Academy physical exam and left the Marine Corps in 1948. He transitioned from active duty Marines to the U.S. Navy Reserve and was discharged in 1949 following 4 years of service to our country. Lou returned to Georgia Tech. He earned an engineering degree in 1952. And following college, he worked as an electrical engineer for several companies, including GE, IT&T, and Carling Electronics. Lou was no stranger to volunteerism. He dedicated more than 3,000 hours of volunteer work at Banner Heart Hospital, where he worked 3 days per week as part of Banner's supply chain team. During more recent years, Lou was honored on numerous occasions for his military service as a Marine. 3 years ago, in April 2023, Lou was escorted to his first Red Friday assembly by Robert Symes, his Marine Corps friend and neighbor. And over the past 3 years, Lou attended numerous Red Friday assemblies. In fact, we celebrated Lou's 98th birthday here last February. Folks, roughly 16 million U.S. citizens served in the military by the time World War II ended in 1945. That represented 12% of the total population at the time of 132 million people. Slightly more than 45,000 Americans who served in World War II are alive today. We were absolutely elated to have Lucid Bird join our Red Friday ranks 3 years ago and share in our camaraderie and support our mission. Let's take a brief moment and view a little bit about our friend, Lou Bird. Lou Bird, rest in peace, my friend, rest in peace. You know, you have often heard me encourage our veterans to take the time and document their military service history, regardless of branch of service, where, when, or in whatever capacity that they may have served. Just tell their story. Share their memories. Whether they were drafted, voluntarily enlisted, or by court order given an alternative that would be far less pleasant, their military service history should be documented, if for nothing else than posterity. Somewhere down the line, a great-grandchild, a great-niece, a great-nephew, or a close friend of the family is going to want to know something more about your armed services than what they might read on a DD-214. You know, the U.S. military is rapidly evolving, more so today than at any time in history. How our service members train, how they fight, and how they are equipped today to deliver shock, awe, and lethality is far different than when we veterans served, primarily due to the enormous technological advancements and the lessons learned from previous conflicts. I can't even imagine what the armed forces might look like in decades to come. So, years from now, when your once, twice, 3 times removed relative becomes interested in what Uncle Timmy Tentpeg actually did in service to our country prior to transitioning to civilian life, I implore you, take the time and document your service history, share your personal experiences and your insights about military service, and never, ever assume that your job in service to our nation was unimportant. While in service to our nation, each of us was but one link in a chain of more than 2 million links when both active duty and reserve forces are combined. Each link of that chain has a role in mission success. Remove a link, and that squad, that platoon, that company, or that battalion is weakened. Therefore, every job, every individual contribution to the unit is important and should never, ever be discounted. Today, we have joining us cadets from the Apache Junction High School's Navy JROTC program and their Naval Science instructor, Chief Bradley Callender, United States Navy retired. Cadets, as I call your name, please remain in position but stand. Cadet Zandra Webster, Cadet Rylan Galvez, Cadet Layla Dennis, and Cadet Amari Parsons. And Chief Bradley Callender. May I have a round of applause for these cadets and instructors? Thank you. You may be seated. I'm sure that most of you are familiar with Imprints of Honor. This is a program that connects students with veterans, whereby the student contribute in honoring veterans, preserving the veteran stories through volumes of publications, and thus preserving America's heritage. Furthermore, the Imprints of Honor program contributes to the development of America's future leaders. Each of these cadets present have played an important role in the Imprints of Honor program, and together they will be sharing the impact that experience has had on their unit. Ladies and gentlemen, here to highlight the Imprints of Honor program, please welcome Cadet Zandra Webster, Cadet Rylan Galvez, Cadet Lila Dennis, Cadet Amari Parsons, and Naval Science Instructor Chief Bradley Callender.
Good morning, Patriots.
Good morning.
It is a pleasure to be with you today and speak alongside Chief Calendar and these wonderful students who belong to our Apache Junction High School chapter. Imprints of Honor is a nonprofit character education program for middle school, high school, and college students. We have been around for over 20 years, so you might recognize us by our previous name, which was Veterans Heritage Project. Today, we are going to share with you our mission, our program pillars, and the personal impact of our program. Thank you, Chief. Imprints of Honor currently has 32 school chapters. 30 of those are located in Arizona, with 1 in Florida and 1 in Tennessee. Schools can implement our program as an after-school club, an elective class, or even a senior capstone project. We also have an independent contributor pathway for students who do not have a chapter at their school. The mission of Imprints of Honor is to connect students with veterans in order to honor veterans, preserve America's heritage, and develop future leaders. Now, the roots of our program began in our founder, Barbara Hatch's high school history classroom in 1998, when her students began asking her about the historical accuracy of the movie Saving Private Ryan. Barbara began inviting veterans to come to her classroom to share their real-life stories of service with the students, and the students couldn't get enough. These visits continued and grew into an after-school oral history publishing club in 2004, and then the nonprofit was established in 2009. Since 2004, Imprints of Honor students have interviewed over 3,000 military veterans ranging from World War I to current conflicts. With the guidance of teacher advisors, students document these oral histories in the Veterans History Project at the Library of Congress, as well as write the veteran stories for publication in our annual book, which is called Since You Asked, and you can see them here on the table. To honor their veterans, students work together to plan free public, regional, community reception, and book signing events. Our program honors the service of veterans and brings first-person accounts of history to students, preserving that history for future generations. The program helps students reach their potential through character development, leadership building, and academic strengthening. Teachers, like Chief Calendar here, volunteer to lead an Imprints of Honor chapter at their school and guide their students through our program pillars. We enact our mission through our program pillars, which are interviewing, archiving, publishing, book reception, and civic engagement. So first pillar is archiving. Each fall, our Imprints of Honor students interview veteran family members, school staff, or community members. Veterans can be any age, and combat experience is not a requirement. We welcome the stories of all veterans. Teacher advisors also make connections within veteran groups in their communities and cultivate lists of interested veterans to interview. As an organization, we also have a list that we share with students and teacher advisors across our chapters to help as they seek veterans to interview. Within the Imprints of Honor online guide, there are training materials for the interview and sample questions from the Library of Congress. Students also prepare additional questions of their own and ask follow-up questions, which lead to rich story details. The interviews are primarily conducted in person, but can also take place via Zoom in case the veteran is not local or there are health concerns. There's always a teacher advisor, parent, or school-approved volunteer at every interview. And even before the interview happens, when the student determines the veteran that they're going to interview, they do historical background research to learn about the conflict era in which their veterans served. These interviews help students build their communication skills and connect with a different generation, as well as bridge the civilian and military gap. The students are improving their technology skills as well because every interview is recorded on a video camera or webcam. That interview recording is extremely important because that is the file that is archived with the Veterans History Project at the Library of Congress. Now in 2000, Congress created the Veterans History Project at the Library of Congress to archive oral histories from our nation's veterans. And this is where we preserve those videos of the veteran interviews. So each veteran's service is preserved for future generations. There is also additional biographical information that's collected and posted on the website. The historians do post most of the videos on the website, but regardless of that, every physical interview video is preserved within their physical archives. And we're proud to say that Imprints of Honor is one of the largest contributors to the Veterans History Project. Now, in addition to being archived at the Library of Congress, a written version of this veteran's story is published in our annual hardbound book, which is called Since You Asked. Now, after completing the interview, the student has the job of writing the veteran's story about their veteran, and these range from about 1,500 words to a maximum of 5,000 words on the longer end. After the student writes the story, we have teachers and community volunteers who help edit and polish the stories to make them the best they can be. And after that, it's off to the veteran for the veteran to provide their edits and approval. The veteran has the final say over the story. And when we have that final story, the photos and the captions are all submitted to Imprints of Honor for publication. For interested students, we have an amazing graphic designer on staff who works to train students in Adobe Photoshop and InDesign to lay out the stories for the book. And that's kind of similar to a yearbook class. We also host an art contest every year for students to create art representing each of the conflict eras, and it really enhances the book and makes it beautiful. And because of this, all this work, the book becomes a family heirloom. It opens the door for conversations between veterans and their family members. And the story that is pictured here on the slide is from World War II veteran Joe Gosson. He served as a ball turret gunner, but he never talked about his service with his family, even though they really wanted to know what he did during the war. Finally, he agreed to an interview with one of our students, and he shared his story. The student was captivated and wrote the story. When it came time for him to give his edits and approval, he refused to allow the story to be published, and we didn't know why. It wasn't until we had years of conversation that he finally shared the one edit he had for his story. He didn't want to be referred to as a hero. The student happily made the edit. We were able to publish the book, and his family was able to learn what he did and talk about it with him. This was a transformative experience for Joe and his family, and it led to him continuing to share his story with more Imprints of Honor students. His daughter Gretchen in Florida still volunteers to support our mission. Now, this past spring, we published our 22nd volume of the book. And since we can't fit all the stories in one book, we publish regional editions. So that means we have published 56 total physical books. We have preserved a total of 3,444 veteran stories. And on the slide, these are broken apart by conflict era. You'll see that if you did add up all the numbers, it would equate to more than that total number, but we count all of the conflict eras in which a veteran served. So they're listed in multiple categories. And our book is called Since You Asked because many veterans do not share their memories of service until they are asked, and we have to ask. Now, once the students have done the interview, they've written the stories, the book has gone to press, the culmination of the year-long program takes place in the spring when students organize and host book reception events to honor the veterans and present them with the completed publication. The students build their collaboration and planning skills by working together as a team. The book reception is a free public event. It's open to all of you to come. It includes music, a veteran keynote speaker, scholarship presentations, and the opportunity for event attendees to visit with the interviewed veterans and have them sign the page of their story in the book. We have one reception for all of our schools in the Phoenix metro area, and our remote schools plan and host their own regional events with our support. Every student, teacher, and interviewed veteran receives a book, and then students also decorate and assemble gift bags for our interviewed veterans, which include their copy of the book, a copy of the interview recording on a flash drive, a personalized bookmark, and a commemorative challenge coin. At the book reception, you can see how much the entire experience means to our veterans, their families, and our students. We see the beautiful connections that have been built. I think of Captain Larry Ernst. He passed away recently. He was at Top Gun. He was the last commanding officer of the USS Midway, and he was interviewed by a wonderful student named Ian. And on the day of the book reception, it was Larry and his wife Bobby's wedding anniversary. It was their 50th anniversary or 50-something anniversary, but they invited Ian to come to dinner with them that night because they wanted to celebrate the interview and include him in that special family event because he basically became part of their family. And Larry was able to give Ian special advice as Ian was starting the next chapter of his life and becoming an adult and making important decisions. It was so beautiful. And so that you have a little taste of what the book reception is like, we're now going to show a video from this year to show you some of the highlights.
How many of you have seen that movie, We Were Soldiers? Okay, here's one of the helicopter pilots.
We also want a student who is patriotic, loved their country, and respected the military and the veteran. And it became apparent that the only organization that could do that and bring that student to us every year was in Principal Honor.
So that's what you can expect when you come to one of our book reception events. And the final pillar of our program is civic engagement. So students participate at the book reception every year, but they also participate in various events throughout the year to connect with veterans and community members. Now, something that we know is that civic engagement and civic knowledge and public engagement are at an all-time low, and that research was conducted even prior to the pandemic. Now, some states like Arizona have established civics exams that are required for students to pass prior to graduation, but that's not enough. So experts agree that in order to be effective, that civic education needs to include service-based learning or project-based activities, because those experiences are necessary for students to build communication and collaboration skills, to be exposed to people with different perspectives, and to learn how to engage with the larger community. These are skills that not only our employers are seeking, but our nation needs and Imprints of Honor cultivates. So of course, the biggest day for our students is Veterans Day. They participate in a variety of community events, but we also gather together as many chapters as we can to participate in a Veterans Day parade. So for many years, we participated in the Phoenix Veterans Day Parade. The past few years, we've been out at the East Valley Veterans Day Parade, which is where we'll be again this year. And the students chant, they pass out flags, and my favorite part is when the students will run off into the crowd and they'll see a veteran with their hat and they'll shake the veteran's hand, look them in the eye, and thank them for their service. You'll see we have an East Valley Veterans Day Parade picture here on the slide, as well as a wonderful photo of our Apache Junction High School cadets marching in the Apache Junction Veterans Day Parade. And we also have veteran speaker events. These take place in the community and also the schools. So many of our veterans who are interviewed decide that they want to stay involved and share their stories in assemblies and classroom presentations in the community. So 2 of our chapters host veteran speaker series, and they invite the entire student body to come take the time to hear these amazing firsthand experiences of history. We connect our veteran speakers with community groups, and our Imprints of Honor team has already scheduled a few of those veterans to speak to you in the coming months. So I know you'll enjoy that. And while Veterans Day is our most important day for civic engagement, students also participate in Reads Across America, Pearl Harbor Day commemoration, Memorial Day, and more. Photo on the left is from one of our gatherings at Reads Across America at the National Cemetery of Arizona. And then the photo on the right is our Cactus Shadows chapter attending the Pearl Harbor Day Memorial in downtown Phoenix. So really special days for the students to go out and learn history and participate with the community. In order to facilitate our program, we have a learning management system to help guide students step by step. We have instructions, tutorial videos, fact sheets, supplemental worksheets, and teacher advisors have a moderator view of that guide, which allows them to track student progress. We also have a separate guide for our teacher advisors that's organized monthly to help them lead their chapter. And we meet with teachers for monthly Zoom meetings, and we also provide one-on-one support. There are many benefits to students and schools who participate in the program, including earning the Seal of Civics Literacy. The Arizona Department of Education established diploma seals in 2019. The Seal of Civics Literacy recognizes public high school students who achieve a high level of proficiency in civics, and that seal is placed on the student's diploma as well as noted on their transcript. And in order to earn the seal, students are required to pass their 8th grade civics test, earn at least a 3.0 in their social studies classes, and then meet additional Arizona Department of Education required activities or hours in 3 categories over the course of their high school career. So students can meet that activities requirement just by participating in our program, but they can also combine it with other approved activities such as JROTC. Now let's talk about our program impact, starting with the perspective of our veterans. So 100% of our veterans would recommend the program to another veteran. 56% find the process cathartic or healing. 31% are sharing their story for the first time, opening that door for conversations with their families. 83% of our Edition 1 interviewed veterans this year indicate that the oral history process exceeded their expectations, and 91% of those Edition 1 veterans indicated that the book reception and book publication exceeded their expectations. And here's what our teachers have to say. So 100% of our teachers agree that Imprints of Honor is increasing student character development. It's helping bridge those generation gaps between students and veterans, as well as within families, and it's also bridging that military and civilian gap. And the program is also increasing student civic engagement and acts of service in the school and the community. And our teachers are so incredible. They take great pride in leading our chapters. Many of them say that it is one of the most rewarding experiences of their careers. And at this time, I would like to give the floor to Chief Callender to share his experiences as one of our teacher advisors.
Good morning. How are we doing today? Good. First and foremost, from the bottom of my heart, from Apache Junction High School and our NJROTC, thank you for your service. Without you, we could not be here. I'd also like to thank Dr. Papalardo for his inspiring words earlier this morning. Thank you, sir, for being here as well. When they first came to me last year to talk about doing this program, last year was my first year as a teacher in general and as an instructor for NJROTC. And so when they came to me early in the year and said, hey, we'd like you to take on this, I went, come on, one more thing, serious guys? However, when I sat down with Imprints of Honor, their liaisons, and they began to tell me about what exactly it all entailed, I was sold instantly. What a great way for our cadets, our young people to connect with veterans from wars past, community members, right, that are making impacts in our communities. And so again, it was a no-brainer. But when I asked the pointed question, well, how many stories are we looking to do, right? How many does a new chapter do? And they said, well, 5's kind of pushing it. Well, being the young upstart I am, I said, we'll do better, we'll do more. And so I, instead of making it voluntary, I had, at that time last year, I had 50 first-year cadets. And so I said, well, we're gonna make a civics block for that for one whole quarter, and that's gonna be what we do as Imprints of Honor. And it was awesome. And so, again, the only way to organize is to put them into fire teams. And so I had fire teams of 5, and every fire team was assigned a veteran. And each fire team member had a job within in their little team. And so one was coordinating, another was organizing the technology, et cetera, et cetera. And so all of them sat the interview for each one of their veterans. And again, the impact it had on the students was incredible. They were able to learn things about their veterans that they would have never thought, right? Challenges, how they overcame those challenges. And what was really neat was it wasn't just about their service time, which was incredible, right? It also talked about what led them to service. And then more notably, what did you do with that time and experience afterwards when you got out of service? And so again, really neat opportunity. And I don't want to take up too much time because I'd rather the kids come up and tell you exactly how they went through it. But overall, the impact was incredible. And this year, instead of making it mandatory for all 50 kids, this year we're actually opening it up to volunteering, but having the supports in place. Imprints has been incredible to work with, just real fast. They've been amazing to work with. Hannah's our liaison for Imprints of Honor, and she's been incredible. Imprints of Honor is a really stand-up organization. They put on a really great product. The books themselves actually get entered into the Library of Congress. It truly is awesome for our veterans. So all that to be said, I'm going to start calling up some of the kids to come up and tell their experience.
Good morning, Red Friday. This is my first time attending an Imprints of Honor event or event in general, and I'm so happy to be here. Each and every single one of you guys are so welcoming. I just want to say thank you to those who served and those who helped those who served. Each and every one of you are so important, and it just fills my heart with so much joy. Imprints of Honor was not only a thing that connected us to the veterans, but it also connected us as a school and as a whole. I was put with a bunch of kids I didn't know anything about. I've never talked to these kids before. And now I'm like really good friends with each and every single one of them. And sorry guys, I'm really nervous. I just want to say thank you. I interviewed two people. I interviewed Frank White, who had a beautiful and emotional story. It was it was just mesmerizing, and it was, oh my gosh, guys. And I also interviewed my brother, who is an active military member. He is a firefighter in the Army. And I just want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to do this. And each and every single one of you let us come to this point. And each and every single one of you, even if you didn't enlist, led us to our country and how beautiful and great it is today. Sorry. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Good morning. I'm Cadet Galvez. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm Cadet Galvez. I've interviewed two people so far and written their stories. One is Mr. Philip Todd. I've completed his story, and he is in our latest version of Imprints of Honor. And then our second veteran that I've interviewed is Mr. Claire Steiner, who's sitting back there. And I am in the writing process for his story right now. I have finished my rough draft, and I've sent it in to Imprints of Honor, and we're working on putting it in our next book. Connecting with Mr. Todd has been amazing. He's helped me get new ideas of what I want to be when I'm older, what branches I want to join, where I want to go to where I want to go to school. He's already helped me look at schools in Norwich University in Vermont. It's an ROTC school, outstanding choice, and that's about it. He's just helped me out a lot. And then Mr. Steiner, he's given me a lot of new ways to look at life, because before I kind of just was going along, not really trying in school, not really trying to do anything like outstanding compared to my fellow cadets. And then after interviewing him, I realized that some people don't always have the opportunity to do what they want. So why am I going to waste what I have when I could be thriving and doing the best that I can? So that's it. Thank you all for your service, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you both for sharing those perspectives. In terms of some of the stats, we have 100% of our students graduate and continue on to higher education or military service. It's awesome. They're doctors, they're teachers, they're business leaders, they're engineers. Any pathway that they go, they're in the Marines, they're in the Navy, they're in all branches, and they're in all career fields. It's amazing to see what students do when they graduate, and no matter what they do, they're going to carry that imprint of what their veterans have instilled in them wherever they go. 85% of our high school seniors maintain a mentoring relationship with their veterans. 97% of our high school seniors are improving their 21st century skills: listening, writing, critical thinking, public speaking, collaboration. For students who participate for multiple years, we have scholarships ranging from a one-time award of $1,500 up to an award of $17,500, which is renewable for up to 4 years as long as the student is maintaining their eligibility criteria. So if you are a veteran interested in being interviewed by one of our students, we invite you to visit our website, imprintsofhonor.org/veterans. Use our form to submit your name, contact information, and brief details of your service. Like I said earlier, combat experience is not a requirement. We'd love to hear your story in whatever way that you served. You will be added to our list that is shared across chapters. This does not guarantee that you'll be interviewed this year, but we do keep the same list from year to year. So once you're on the list, you don't have to sign up again. And where are my Marines? Thank you. So if you are a Marine Corps veteran, one of our previously interviewed Marine Corps veterans has provided special funding this year for each of our chapters to interview up to 5 Marine Corps veterans this year. Yes. And we want to interview all veterans, but historically our Marines have been underrepresented, so we are excited to preserve more of their stories. I have a flyer that if you're interested, you can also take with you. And Chief Calendar's contact information is on that flyer, so you can get in touch with him and get on his list. Across our chapters, we are anticipating a total of 300 interviews this school year, and we are excited for a new year of building character and honoring service. Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic. Guys, this is an absolutely phenomenal program, to say the least. I hope that you've learned a great deal about imprints of honor and the gigantic task of assembling these stories, editing them for the purpose of publication, and then, as I understand, they go to Library of Congress.
The recorded interview does, but we
The
don't.
recorded interview goes to Library of Congress. I have never even visited the Library of Congress. I would like for my story to be in this book in the Library of Congress. Absolutely. But I do want to take this opportunity to thank each of you cadets for joining us today. And I would like for Cadet Rylan Galvez to stand. And Rylan, I would like to present you with a certificate of appreciation, as well as your comrades in arms. Let's see, we have Cadet Zonder Webster right here. And I also would like to present a certificate of appreciation for, who do we have here? This is for Cadet Amari Parsons. Amari. And for Cadet Lalia Dennis. Now, may I take just a moment and indicate what is on this certificate? This is welcoming each of you to the Order of the R.E.D. We hereby extol and commend you as cadets for your honorable community service, championing veteran support initiatives, and support of the East Valley Red Friday Patriots. Richard, come over here so you don't get these books in, please. And pardon me 1 second, I want to stand behind you over here. Can you move forward just a little bit? Here you go.
All right.
There we are.
All right. Looking good. All right. Thank you. It's looking real good. Thank you.
Superb. Keep standing, please. I also want to present each of you with this patriotic lapel pin, and perchance on your civilian attire, you will be able to wear this proudly as a member of this Red Friday Patriots group and to demonstrate your patriotism. And we would also like to present each of you with one of the certified United States Navy 250th celebration lapel pins.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. And Hannah, well, you can just step back just a little bit here, guys. Hannah, if you will, come right over here. We would like to present you with this Red Friday lapel pin, and we hope that as the occasion presents itself, you will be able to wear this proudly and to be able to promote this Red Friday program and what it truly means for our community. Thank you for this particular phenomenal presentation that you gave. We really do appreciate you. We appreciate the cadets. Chief, we appreciate you. Superintendent, we appreciate you as well. May I have a round of applause for these folks? Just another reminder, we have scheduled guest speakers to join us in the coming weeks of August and September. So these are going to be, as we have seen today, some very powerful presentations. I encourage you to come on out each and every Friday whenever possible to support these speakers. To our first-time guests, to our Navy JROTC cadets, Chief Callender, thank you for joining us today. We sincerely hope that you'll return to share in our camaraderie and support our mission. Please know that you will always be welcome at our Red Friday assemblies. As a final reminder, let us not overlook the importance of this Red Friday mission to keep our deployed service members in our thoughts and prayers and to continue to demonstrate our support for these fine men and women. Keep in mind that it is patriotism that unites us. Enjoy your weekend.